The Titanic was built by a company called White Star Line in Belfast, Ireland, and completed on March 31, 1912. It was the most impressive and luxurious ship of her time. With 10 decks, 3 engines, and a grand staircase. In first class, there were many new attractions, such as squash courts, a Turkish bath, a gymnasium, a barber shop, and also the first swimming pool on board a ship. Even the cheaper third-class cabins were of a better standard than those on other liners. Titanic left Southampton, England, on April 10, 1912, and began the transatlantic journey to New York City, carrying over 2,000 passengers and crew. Titanic sank on April 15, 1912, in just over 2.5 hours after colliding with an iceberg. Only about 700 people survived.
The Titanic struck an iceberg near Newfoundland, Canada. The collision damaged the ship and its watertight compartments. With a limited number of lifeboats, many passengers could not escape the ship. Only hours after the collision, the Titanic sunk, taking about 1,500 passengers with her.
American company called OceanGate, which operates a submersible for adventure with exploration and industrial research. On June 18, 2023, Sunday, the submersible named Titan left on one of such tourist trips. The deep-sea vessel Titan was of a cylinder shape, with a length of 22 feet, width of 9.2 feet, and height of 8.3 feet. It was built from carbon fiber and titanium, had a speed of 3 knots, 3.5 miles per hour, and weighed 9,525 kilograms. A maximum of 5 people could travel in it. The Titan was not a submarine. Submersible needed a ship to launch, called a mother ship or support ship, which took it from the port to the launch side, and controlled it.
It is operated by a team of experts who have a passion for history and marine life. One of the most intriguing items that they want to see is the Titanic wrench, a tool that was used by the ship's engineers to tighten the bolts of the boilers. The wrench was found by a previous expedition in 1987, but it was left on the ocean floor because it was too heavy to lift. The Titan sub-team hopes to locate the wrench again and take a closer look at it using their advanced cameras and sensors. They believe that the wrench can reveal more details about the Titanic's construction and operation, as well as the fate of its crew. The wrench is also a symbol of the human ingenuity and courage that were displayed by the Titanic's engineers, who tried to save the ship until the very end. The Titan sub-team wants to honor their memory and share their story with the world.
It's operated with a video game controller. The vessel was sealed from the outside after passengers boarded. There were 5 people on board of the Titan, including Pakistani businessman and Engro Corporation Vice Chairman Shahzada Dawood and his son Suleiman Dawood. Hamish Harding, he was the chairman of Action Aviation. A well-known explorer Paul Henry and Stockton Rush, CEO of company OceanGate. On Friday, the exploring ship departed from the Canadian coast, St. John. On Saturday, British billionaire Hamish Harding wrote in a Facebook post that this will be the first and last mission of the year due to the worst weather in Newfoundland in 40 years. The passengers will be taken to the Titanic wreck. The weather has improved a bit and we will dive tomorrow. Hamish hasn't posted anything on Facebook since Sunday morning at 8 a.m. local time. On the Titan mission in the Atlantic Ocean, it took 2 hours to reach the Titanic at 12,500 feet below. But 1 hour and 45 minutes later, Titan lost contact with its support ship. But the Coast Guard was not immediately notified.
The Titan was supposed to complete its mission and return to the surface by 3 o'clock in the afternoon. but it did not return. The U.S. Coast Guard was reported missing submersible at 5:40 p.m. On Monday, U.S. and Canadian ships and aircraft continued to search for the Titan. According to Coast Guard, the search operation is a challenge. Government also appealed for help from commercial ships. At 10:50 a.m. on Tuesday morning, France has announced to send its ship to Atalante. Atalante is equipped with a deep-sea vessel. The Canadian aircraft involved in the search operation detected sounds from the deep sea. On Tuesday, according to CNN Rolling Stone magazine, banging sounds were detected at intervals of 30 minutes. Rolling Stone said that the acoustic detector recorded more sounds at intervals of 4 hours. CNN did not call the sound recorded later as banging. Between Tuesday and Wednesday at 2 a.m., the U.S. Coast Guard dispatched a remote-controlled vessel to the location where the sound was detected.
The Titan Submersible had a 96-hour oxygen supply, and the 96-hour deadline will end at 6 o'clock in the morning. At 2 p.m., the officer was told that the wreckage of the Titan was found near the wreckage of the Titanic ship. At 3 p.m., the Coast Guard confirmed that the Titan had exploded inward and no one on board could survive.
OceanGate has been facing criticism regarding Titan's safety for many years. A former employee of OceanGate, David, warned about the thickness of its walls and the dangers of going deep into the Titan. David also said that he was wrongly fired for raising concerns. In a podcast in 2022, the CEO of OceanGate said that, "If you want to be safe, don't leave your bed, don't sit in the car, and don't do any work."
Shahzada Dawood, who died in the accident, was involved in fertilizing energy, IT, and telecommunications. And his family is known as one of the richest families of Pakistan. Shahzada Dawood was serving as the vice chairman of Engro Corporation. Majority of the milk and dairy products used in the households of Pakistan are produced under the umbrella of Engro Foods. Engro Corporation operates in the fertilizer, food and energy sectors. Dawood and company used to actively participate in welfare works. Lahore University of Management Sciences, as known as LUMS, has Suleiman Dawood School of Business, which was established in 1986. Which is considered as one of the oldest business schools in Pakistan. Initially, the school was supported by the Dawood family for a long time. Shahzada Dawood was born in Pakistan but later moved to the UK, where he studied in the Department of Advocacy of Buckingham University, while he also did his MSc from Philadelphia University. Under the guidance Shahzada Dawood, Engro became the first Pakistani company to sign an agreement sponsored by the World Economic Forum's International Business Council. In 2012, he was selected as a young global leader. Suleiman Dawood, the son of Shahzada Dawood, who died in the accident, was a student at Strathclyde University and had also completed his first year. He aspired to enter the Guinness Book of Records by completing the Rubik's Cube in 12 seconds at 3,700 meters deep. He had applied to Guinness World Records ahead of the trip and had been planning to set the Guinness World Record for the deepest ever completion of the puzzle once they reached the famous wreck. The father and son duo were keen on adventure. Both of them had been doing adventure together for many years, and with the same thought, they went out to see the wreck of the Titanic.
Stockton Rush. He was the pilot of the Titan Submersible and was the CEO and founder of OceanGate, a company that offered deep-sea expeditions to tourists and researchers. He had a degree in aerospace engineering from Princeton and was a former fighter pilot in the U.S. Navy. He was a nature lover, adventurer and visionary, who wanted to make the ocean more accessible and understood. He had broken some rules in designing the Titan Submersible, which was made of carbon fiber and titanium, against industry standards. He faced criticism from some scientists who questioned the safety and testing of his vessel, which was experimental and not approved by any regulatory body. He said he wanted to be remembered as an innovator and that he had broken rules with logic and good engineering behind him. Hamish Harding. He was a British businessman, pilot, and adventurer based in the United Arab Emirates, UAE. He was the founder of Action Group and was chairman of Action Aviation, an international aircraft brokerage company with headquarters in Dubai. He visited the South Pole several times, once with former astronaut Buzz Aldrin and once with his son, who became the youngest person to reach the pole at age 12. He traveled into space in 2022 on board Blue Origin's fifth human crewed flight, along with Jeff Bezos, Mark Bezos, and Wally Funk. He held 3 Guinness World Records for his feats of exploration, one for circumnavigating the Earth via the North and South Poles in a Gulfstream G650ER in 46 hours and 40 minutes, one for diving to the deepest point of the Mariana Trench, the Challenger Deep, at a depth of approximately 11,000 meters, 36,000 feet, and one for spending the longest time at full ocean depth. He was a member of the Explorers Club, a prestigious international society dedicated to scientific exploration. Paul Henry. Paul Henry Nargeolet was a French deep-sea explorer and Titanic expert. He was known as Mr. Titanic, and had visited the shipwreck site at least 35 times.